doing the morning show.
Katt Williams is in the Red Velvet Cake Studios.
I am.
Welcome to the cake.
Thank you, sir. It looks delicious in here. Very tastefully done. Yeah.
In Dallas doing 2 shows. Another show has been added.
Added a show.
Man, you're killing them, man. Are you going to record this show and put this out?
This one in Dallas?
No, the tour.
Just the
yes, sir.
The stand-up tour.
I am going to historically market. Just trying to figure out where's the spot
that you're gonna record. Mm-hmm. How many dates have you done so far?
I want to say 30.
Wow.
About 30 with another 30 to go.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You know, the basics. You know, back on that old horse
Do you
again.
like touring? Do you like being out there and being on the road?
It's the only enjoyable part.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm
I know
saying.
how you feel.
Yeah.
When you get on,
but it's a different tour than like from back in the day. Now it's jets and big hotels and it's great.
Yeah,
So
Melanie
it's gotta be
Camacho
great,
came by the other day and she said y'all roll big time.
You roll big time
with
man.
private jets and money.
She said everything is first class.
Those people are saying YOLO. We live YOLO every single time.
You only
It's
live
the difference.
once, huh?
I'm saying this may be our only tour, so we continue to do that, thinking it may never happen, and we were right. It might not have ever happened again, and so now we appreciate it so much more that we're back out again.
Good.
Smaller
good,
private jets now.
You have time to keep up with the news?
Yes, sir. And nothing but.
Oscar Pistorius, as
Yes,
you
sir.
call him, Tink Tink.
Yep.
And the trial is going on now. Have you been keeping up?
I have, as much as I could. It's difficult, though.
Difficult to keep up.
Yeah.
Or difficult for Oscar. Or Tink Tink.
Both. The story is bad either way.
Yeah.
Like, it's a terrible story. Like, it's the worst imaginable story. But you have to put yourself in the mind of somebody that can't walk away. Well, when a dude is telling you something happened without his legs on, that means that's a vulnerable conversation he's having with you. And now, if he's having that conversation with a woman, you don't know what she might have said at the time. You know what I mean?
You feel his pain, do you?
No, I just know that sometimes things happen, and I know that generally when stuff is hard to explain, that has nothing to do with whether it's true or not. Yeah, so, it's a terrible situation, but I've been keeping up with it. It's all bad. No winners in that one.
Not when you're on trial for murder. No, sir.
No, and can't walk away. I'm saying, you don't want to go to jail where you're going to get passed around. Yeah. I want to move. You can't move. This is your permanent cell. This is terrible. Lock my legs up independently from me. This is cruel, man. Yeah.
Tink Tink.
Yeah, pull a little tink tink. Sometimes we read into the future. Remember, I hit somebody at Target. Next Target hit everybody else's accounts. I'll be trying now. Kind of a slow prophet, if you understand.
A slow prophet.
A slow prophet, yes. Yeah.
Did you ever say what he said to you, Katt? What did he say to you that make you hit him?
I didn't mean to, because I knew that it was a setup, but he was so aggressive with the N-word that it took my attitude from, okay, I can't do this because of the person that I am. And then I realized, no, actually because of the person I am, I'm like the only person you should have said this to. Because everybody else has a job they're going to lose and a family and they're going to go to jail.
Right.
And I'm going to be able to just say, no, this is what you said. This is the context in which you said it. And these are the recompenses for that. I'm saying that's how the N-word started to begin with. It's about the intent behind it, not the word. Yeah, so his intent was faulty.
Now they're talking about fining football players for using the N-word on the football field. On the NFL is going to fine you, penalize you if you use the N-word.
I don't think you want to hear my opinion.
Yeah,
I think they should.
You think they should?
They should?
On the football field? Yeah,
Yes.
I think they should.
Why?
Because, see, you have to understand that everything that we see on the news, they want us to talk about it like it's a little story when really these are major agendas that we're discussing. So the whole thing is, yeah, you should ban that word. And while you at it, go ahead and ban the rest of the cuss words from the football field so you don't have to deal with that. And then we can act like you live in a professional world like we do.
Right.
Otherwise, say they play football and they can say whatever they want to say and just say the white players can't say the N-word. But for some reason, that smacks of racism or reverse racism, which is no racism at all. Yikes. Did you see that one? Slow profit. Sometimes I speed it up and give it to them. Yeah.
Quick
But
profit.
we have to deal with the word.
Yes.
And unfortunately, these are not black and white issues. They go both ways. So, I have white friends that say that word.
And
And I have to deal with it.
And what do you say to them?
I don't knock them out. That's the crazy part. Again, it's really how you're saying it. It's really what your tone is, how you meant to say it, you know? And so until we finally deal with those simple facts, we're not going to be able to move any further past Trayvon Martin and the Michael Dunns. All of that. I'm saying none of this is new, but it is going to have to stop. Yeah. So we'll see.
You spoke before on stage about weed.
Yeah.
And the weed laws now are coming down.
Before the weed laws, yes?
Yeah, before the weed laws. Again, slow profit.
Sir. Message isn't always popular.
But now, and the other day, there was a story about some kids, some boys in the 8th grade got caught.
No, 8 and 9-year-old.
Oh, 8 and 9-year-old boys in the bathroom. Smoking weed.
Right, but those two stories don't have anything to do with each other. Those boys didn't go to a legal medical professional and get a prescription for it and then go to the bathroom and take it. They came upon what they came upon.
Their parents did.
Well, I'm saying it doesn't really matter. How long have children been going in their parents' alcohol and drinking out of it and replacing it with water?
Yeah,
Hands
up.
This is not what it's about. It's not about whether something can be abused. It's about whether it was created with a good purpose or not. Aspirin is made by God, and it makes your head feel better. And this little plant makes your head feel different. But the same person is responsible. So you can say whatever you want to say. It's the stuff they make that got 300 side effects. Now they realize it. We can do a law. We can move on. Yeah. Hopefully we can do that with the N-word, too.
Now, do you have these discussions with your kids the way that you have, this kind of rapport with your
Was your
fans?
audience?
No, not really. Because my children know this stuff, but they know that kind of what I do is to put myself on the front line of that. And honestly, if I cared enough about them, I wouldn't do that. So it's kind of a touchy subject. If you're willfully putting yourself in the crosshairs, knowing that you have other priorities in life. So what we discuss is how we wish things would turn out, and the fact that you have to do what you have to do regardless of how it turns out. If it turns out well, then so be it, and you get the praise and the credit, give God some glory, and you move on. And if it doesn't, you take that L and you move on. That's what we discuss.
Do you discipline your kids? And in what way do you discipline them?
No, I was always smart enough to know all my kids were going to end up being bigger than me. So, yeah.
And there's a lot of them.
Anything that is too big for the corner or too big for a discussion.
The timeout.
Yeah, I'm
corner.
saying.
I'm gonna let you have that.
I was blessed not to have bad children. So I'm saying.
How many?
Didn't really come. Well, I can't say all of them weren't. 80% track record of all good children.
How many kids do you have?
Current count 6.
And what's the age range?
Well, that's what makes it kind of difficult.
Okay.
Because we do have one in the Air Force now. We have another one just going into the service. So that's 2 in the service. And so now Our number technically should be 4 since we're saying kids, but I try not to keep people too on track with my personal life just because I don't really do it for publicity, you know.
Right.
Bless your heart.
Well, you know, it works when it turns out bad, too. Always a blessing in there.
All right, Katt. We'll see you on the ship.
Now you know why I need to be on the ship. See? It's heavy out here. I'm just thankful I'm not Kevin Hart. I would not want to be the king right now. It's rough out there.
Katt Williams. Let's do
That's what I wanted to hear.
You got it.
Yeah.
Let's do a selfie. I mean, a ussy.
A Weezus.
Weezus.
What up, listeners? This is Eddie Griffin, and I don't know why the hell you listening to Mr. Media. Wait a minute, I know why. Because it's the only place you're going to get the real shit with no motherfucking cut or chase. I'll be on in just a minute. Look out, y'all.
Today on Mr. Media, I'll talk to comedian Eddie Griffin, whose new Comedy Central special and DVD is Eddie Griffin. You can tell him I said it. Stick around. I suspect Eddie will say something he'll want you to repeat to your friends.
Hey, did you know that you can listen to the latest Mr. Media on your phone with the Stitcher app? Stitcher is smart radio for your smartphone. Mr. Media is on demand and on the go with Stitcher. Download Stitcher for your phone today. Get the free download at Stitcher.com. That's STITCHER.com.
So much media, so little time. Who keeps track of it all? That would be me. This is Bob Andelman, and this is a Mr. Media interview. You know, MrMedia.com, MRMedia.com. Stop by and check it out. There are more than 700 archived celebrity interviews for your listening pleasure. The show is brought to you today by 1-800-DIAL-DJs.com. Planning a wedding, mitzvah, or corporate event in the New York, New Jersey, or Pennsylvania area? For any and all occasions, call 1-800-DIAL-DJs nationwide at 1-800-DIAL-DJs. Ask for DJ Ira. He'll take good care of you. Again, that's 1-800-342-5357 or online, 1-800-DIAL-DJs.com. Mr. Media is recorded live before a studio audience of dumbass mofos who won't realize until much later that Eddie was talking about them in the new media capital of the world, St. Petersburg, Florida. Comedian Eddie Griffin is fast, he's smart, and he's funny. And a good percentage of people who will listen to the following interview will no doubt think he's lewd, crude, and socially irredeemable. But fuck them. If you don't like it, I hear the Oprah Winfrey Network is looking for a few people who'll go along to get along and not stir up a fuss. Me? I love nothing better than to watch and hear a stand-up comic who has no regard for convention, status quo, or the supposed daintiness of his audience. I think a comedian should follow 2 essential rules. 1, make me laugh, and 2, make me think. That's not too much to ask, is it? Well, and I'm happy to hear all of that mixed up with 4, 8, and 12-letter words at any time. As I tell my kid, they're just words. It's how and when you use them that gives them strength. Now, that said, if you're under the age of 18, please tune to one of our other fine interviews. I don't want to get a call from your mama about how Eddie or I have ruined you and society. Eddie Griffin is currently touring the country in support of his new Comedy Central special, Eddie Griffin, You Can Tell Him I Said It, and an extended DVD with uncensored material. You can also learn more about his upcoming gigs at eddiegriffin.com. And if you do enjoy this interview, check out my earlier conversations with Lisa Lampanelli, Ralphie May, and the late Robert Schimmel. Eddie Griffin, welcome to Mr. Media.
Yes. How you doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, congratulations on the new special and the DVD. I'm kind of wondering, what sets this apart from previous work?
What sets it apart? Because I'm tearing apart every fucking thing.
Yeah, you kind of start with it right at the beginning there, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yes. I want to fuck Michelle Obama. Yes. It's my way of saying that's a pretty motherfucker.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. I mean, of all the women out there, are you singling her out for attention because it's shocking, or do you really want to fuck Michelle Obama?
Well, let's just put it like this: I wouldn't kick her out my bed.
What is it?
I mean, that is the first lady that is fuckable in a long time.
Well, and I wanted to ask you about that. I mean, had there ever been a first lady before that, even, you know, before either of us was born, that you saw a picture of and went, yeah, I'd do her?
Oh, Jacqueline Kennedy could have got it.
That's about it?
She could have got it.
Yeah?
Yeah, she could have got it.
If it worked for Jack Kennedy, it'd work for you?
Oh, yeah, shit. She was a fine motherfucker, shit.
Now, do you think we're ever going to hear stories about Barack Obama the way we hear about Jack Kennedy? I mean,
I don't know, because Barack he's Captain Safe. You know, I mean, if you're gonna put any kind of superhero jacket on him, he's Captain Safe.
So you don't.
I don't know if the brother's ever said motherfucker.
Well, you remember when Joe Biden said it to him early in his administration, he kind of turned green. He didn't seem to like it too much.
Nah, and I don't know many black men that don't use the word motherfucker.
I don't know many white men that don't use the word motherfucker.
You understand me? So yeah, that's Captain Safe.
Captain Safe. Well, so what do you think about Captain Safe's first 2 years in office?
I think he's done one hell of a job finishing the Bush administration's plan. I'm still waiting on the change part.
You haven't seen it yet?
I ain't seen no change, you know what I mean? I seen some change go to Wall Street, you know what I'm saying? I seen some change go in the pocket of the Senate, you know, but I ain't seen no change.
What would you like to see him do? What would constitute change for Eddie Griffin?
Well, if the motherfucker would just, I mean, this is some simple ass shit. What are we spending, like $750 billion bailing out rich motherfuckers on Wall Street? There's only about 250 million Americans. Send $1 million to each one of us. Now, if you take the $1 million, the only stipulation is you cannot quit your job. Now, that will fix the motherfucking economy quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because if a motherfucker got $1 million, they're going to buy a house. So the housing market has been fixed. You ain't got to bail out the motherfucking automotive company because if I got $1 million, I'm buying a motherfucking car. You understand me? Maybelline's going to sell because the bitch want her face all fixed up. Clothing market's going to have a good time. The motherfuckers going to buy clothes. Everybody's making motherfucking money. Get the money to the people. We will do what we do. Spend it.
So if I want to vote for Eddie Griffin in 2012, what else are you going to run on? I like that idea.
For the low price of $250 million, not $750 billion. So, I mean, if the brother can do that and then bring our troops home from everywhere and let everybody handle their own shit. And then put the motherfucking country back to work. That way crime will go down because a motherfucker got a job. He ain't got to rob a motherfucker to eat. Because our infrastructure is falling to shit. Now, if you put the whole country to work rebuilding the motherfucking infrastructure, updating the country, like anybody that owns a house, you know, every 4 or 5 years, you're going to update your crib.
But, Eddie, if all that was to happen, let's just dream for a minute. All that's to happen, are you going to miss the fact that you don't have that to, you know, make fun of in your act?
Hell no, because, trust me, human beings will always come up with some shit to fuck up on. I don't care if it was streets of gold. Motherfucker will be mad about that. All this damn gold out here on this damn street.
So you haven't seen any change since Obama took over. Certainly, in I guess out of Washington. Do you see it? Are people any different since electing a black president? Has anything changed?
Oh yeah. The Klan quit. They took their sheets off and became the Tea Party. That's the only damn change I can see. That motherfucker got so mad they created a new party for this nigga.
Sorry, I was just
like fucking sheets off. We don't call ourselves the Tea Party.
Well, I wanted to ask you because one of the things, and I've watched a lot of Eddie Griffin video in the last 24 hours, and I can't remember where this came from, but at one point you talk about how, you know, you sort of like rednecks because you know where they stand. They call it out and tell you. I was going to ask you about the Tea Party if that was any different.
No, Tea Party are not rednecks. They are Klansmen. The rednecks is just good old broke white boys. You know what I mean? And they understand what a brother's going through because their motherfuckers just as broke as we are.
Mm-hmm.
And rednecks just like motherfucker, a nigga gonna tell you straight up, look here, boy, I live in the fucking trailer park. I'm eating fucking jelly sandwiches, I ain't got no fucking shoes on my face. I don't want to hear about your goddamn problem, boy. Smack, we can make it happen, boy.
So the Klan, you know where they stand because they're wearing the sheets. Is it as obvious? Is it the whole thing with the Tea Party that they're not being as obvious about what they believe?
No, they ain't being obvious. You know, they're using code words rather than say, we want to get this nigger out of office. That's all it's about. There's a black president and a white house. Somehow they don't go together.
So you're not feeling the love from the Tea Party, apparently.
Oh, hell no. Come on, man.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. This is Bob Andelman, and you're listening to the Mr. Media Interview with comedian Eddie Griffin, whose new Comedy Central special and DVD is Eddie Griffin. You can tell him I said it. And we'll be right back.
Your donation to the American Red Cross can now help support the efforts of the Japanese Red Cross. In response to the March 2011 earthquake and tsunami in Japan, and given the widespread damage and enormous humanitarian needs, the Japanese Red Cross indicated that it would accept financial support from the American Red Cross for its role in providing first aid, emotional support, and relief items to those displaced. Those who want to help can go to www.redcross.org and donate to Japan Earthquake and Pacific Tsunami. People can also text Red Cross to 90999 to make a $10 donation to help those affected by this disaster. Your gift to the American Red Cross will support the disaster relief efforts to help those affected by the earthquake in Japan and the tsunami throughout the Pacific. Financial contributions to the American Red Cross are tax deductible. On those rare occasions when donations exceed American Red Cross expenses for a specific disaster, contributions are used to prepare for and serve victims of other disasters.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin.com Brown from the Emmy Award-winning 30 Rock, and you know what? I wish I had 30 rocks to throw at Mr. Media's ass. Yeah!
This is Bob Andelman, and you're listening to the Mr. Media Interview with comedian Eddie Griffin, whose new Comedy Central special and DVD is Eddie Griffin. You can tell him I said it. Eddie, let's change gears a little bit. I was trying to think, there doesn't seem to have been a really big breakout comedian in the last couple of years, black or white. And maybe I'm wrong about that. I wondered if you had anybody you would recommend or someone you've seen that you think is up and coming.
Yeah, man, you should interview Katt Williams. You should get Freeze Love on the horn. He's based out in New York, originally out of California. He's out opening for Charlie Murphy.
Now, Katt Williams is not new on the scene. He's been around a while.
Yeah, he's been around a while. Yes.
Yeah. Is there is there something about the clubs or the scene right now that it's harder to break through, or is it just not as much talent as maybe there was 10 years ago?
You just said it, my man. There's not as much talent. Most of the motherfuckers that came along, they were doing it just to get some money, and not for the actual love of the art.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's been the problem,
You've
if you look at the pattern, though, it's been like that in comedy for a while. There was that good crop that came along with Robin Williams, Richard Pryor, and George Carlin, and Mr. Cosby. And then it got dead for a while. Then Eddie Murphy came,
Mm-hmm.
And you had a couple of hot ones, and then me, Bernie Mac, and all others came. And then it got cold again, so it's just a cycle.
So we're probably due for a new crop.
I think the new crop is around about 4 or 5 years out, and then you'll start seeing all the new crop who actually love the art form and not just looking at a quick ticket to a TV series or some shit.
I saw this past Saturday, I was at the Tampa Improv, and I saw Kevin.com Brown, who's on 30 Rock, and has been working out as a comic the last year, who's got some good stuff, got great charisma. And there was a guy who opened for him. I understand headlines in some places. His name was BT. I thought he was very funny. He had good delivery, good personality, good stuff going on. But what I kind of wondered from you is, what type of comic would stand a better chance today? I mean, would it be someone like you or someone like, Bill Cosby?
Well, someone like me and Bill. I mean, if you look at it, me and Bill are both storytellers,
Mm-hmm.
I just use a more colorful language than Mr. Cosby. But I think, people are waiting to hear his stories and social consciousness wrapped up in the humor, because, the media, news cocksuckers ain't telling the fucking truth and ain't letting me know what's really fucking going on, so people want to catch it where they can catch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's been the uprising of Jon Stewart shows and comedy / news programs being big hits.
I'm thinking a Cosby type of comic today would have a much harder time outside of doing religious conventions and that kind of thing. I just can't picture that being a big hit in the comedy scene, comedy clubs.
Not in the comedy clubs, you know what I mean? Man, you got that right on the head. People are broke and angry,
mm-hmm.
but they want somebody to represent the fucking anger that they got, and they got no fucking outlet to be heard outside of tweeting motherfuckers. I kind of, anyone watching your new special, I think, would get that, especially the uncensored version. You are definitely speaking a lot of truth that people feel inside and need someone to give them an outlet for. That's the gig, baby. That's the gig.
So let me ask you: do you ever self-censor? Do you ever, when you were off the stage, are you still the same Eddie Griffin, or is there a quieter, gentler version of Eddie Griffin? At Target.
Man, I'm a very quiet motherfucker. I just sit around and don't say shit all day. Now, shit, what you see on the stage is what the fuck you get.
Yeah.
And me, been watching or following me for any length of time. You're not gonna censor me unless you're gonna change the Constitution.
Now, I mentioned before. I mentioned my own kid and my feeling on language. And I just kind of wondered. I understand you've got a bunch of kids yourself. How do you deal with that issue?
Very simple. I mean, it's what you said at the opening of the show. They are words like tree, rock, motherfucker, pussy, dick. The motherfucking word. The word has no power unless you put power into the word.
Mm-hmm.
And by denying a word, like, they tried to ban nigger. If you take that word, what's next? Motherfucker, then you can't say pussy. Then you can't say dick. Well, if you can't say pussy, how you and your partner going to be like, man, let's go out tonight and get some pussy? What the fuck you supposed to say? Let's go get some vagina? Let's lock this motherfucker up in the mental institution.
Is there anything that's sacred for you? Is there any line that you feel uncomfortable crossing?
No, I don't even see lines. Nothing is taboo.
I think of I think at the moment I'm thinking of Louis C.K. who seems, you look at him as this kind of this big kind of overweight slob, and then you hear what comes out of his mouth, and I think, okay, there's some taboo stuff that goes kind of beyond what I would expect, but it's still funny. It's just, there's just stuff that he says. It just seems to go. It seems to cross a line, even for somebody who doesn't have a line, but it's still funny.
The bottom line, man, is it's humor. It's funny. The problem with motherfuckers nowadays, they take themselves too goddamn serious. They get wrapped up in motherfucking life and forgot what life is really about. Having motherfucking fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, so Eddie, you've got the DVD, you've got the Comedy Central special that's been out now a couple of weeks. What's next? What do you got going on next?
Next, we're jumping back on the big screen. I'm working on a project called The Buddy Bradley Story with Miss Penny Marshall.
Really? That's an interesting pairing.
Yes, indeed. Penny's my girl, shit.
Well, folks, listen. To catch Eddie Griffin's new special, Eddie Griffin, you can tell him I said it. Check your local cable listings. Or, of course, you can order a DVD of the uncensored version online at a great price right now at MrMedia.com. And you can follow Eddie's travels, see when he's coming to your town at his website. It's EddieGriffin.com. And, Eddie, thanks so much for joining us on Mr. Media today. It was not a dull moment in it.
Well, Mr. Media, I appreciate you, and keep doing what you're doing, man, and taking radio where it should be. Freedom of speech, and let motherfuckers say what they want to say.
Very
and
good.
How they want to say it.
Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
All right, and folks, listen, for more original interviews with your favorite comedians, surf over to our main website, mrmedia.com, mrmedia.com. If you've enjoyed today's show, subscribe for free to Mr. Media via email, RSS, or iTunes, and you'll never miss a show. You can also listen with a piece of string and a tin can in many locations. Show your support of Mr. Media by clicking on our sponsors ads or making a donation via PayPal to help defray the cost of producing the show. If you've got an idea for a guest, a comment on today's show, or would like to advertise on Mr. Media Radio, email me directly at bob@mrmedia.com. You can also follow Mr. Media on Facebook, Twitter, or on our new YouTube video channel. Thanks so much for joining us today. Really appreciate you sharing a piece of your day with Mr. Media. Thanks for listening.
Hi, this is Red Peters. Whenever I'm not my pickle, I listen to Mr. Media, Bob Andelman. He's the best.
Hi, this is Rich Scheidner. And if you've ever wondered what it was like to be a stand-up comedian in the 1980s, I'm going to do you a big favor. Instead of billions of dollars for a time machine, you can just spend $24.95 and buy my new book, Kicking Through the Ashes, My Life as a Stand-Up in the 1980s Comedy Boom. It will save you money and give you thrills. It will take you there. Go to my website, richscheidner.com, go to amazon.com, and buy this book.
Weinstein is probably the first person.
Now let's think about this. You've heard them on their radios, on television, you've read their newspapers, you've even talked to them in your beer houses. What do they call us? They call us Anglo fools. They call you Anglo fools. And they've called all of us BR friends. Are we BR friends? They call us enemies in their house. That's not the truth. The truth is they stole our rights. You know that. They destroyed our wealth. Call us Cameroonians. We are Ambazonians. Ambazonia is not a dream, it's a reality. And let's talk to Ambazonia. Ambazonia, you were lost and abused. Now you are found. We have found you. We pledge our lives to set you free, forever free. We won't let you down. And this is our promise to you. Nobody can ever take this promise away, and we will not budge one step back. this really comes down to you and me. You have to join our pledge and play your part. It's my part and your part to make it. You and me will set it free because freedom is the word. Don't let them lie to you. There's nothing else but freedom. Freedom is our right, and in that right